An ideal transition curve is A. Cubic parabola, B. Cubic spiral, C. Clothoid spiral, D. True spiral. The correct answer is clothoid spiral. Pantagraph is used for A. Measuring distances, B. Measuring areas, C. Enlarging or reducing plans, D. Setting out right angles. The correct answer is enlarging or reducing plans. If the angular measurements of a traverse are more precise than its linear measurements, balancing of the traverse is done by A. Bowditch's rule, B. transit rule, C. empirical rule, D. all of the above. The correct answer is transit rule. The branch of surveying in which both horizontal and vertical positions of a point are determined by making instrumental observations is known A. tachyometry, B. tachymetry, C. telemetry, D. all the above. The correct answer is all the above. In leveling operation, A. when the instrument is being shifted, the staff must not be moved. B. when the staff is being carried forward, the instrument must remain stationary. C. both A and B. D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A and B. If the rate of gain of radial acceleration is 0.3 m per sec3 and full centrifugal ratio is developed on the curve, the ratio of the length of the transition curve of same radius on road and railway is A. 2.828, B. 3.828, C. 1.828, D. 0.828. The correct answer is 2.828. The angle between two plane mirrors of optical square is A. 20, B. 30, C. 45, D. 60. The correct answer is 45. The latitude of a traverse leg is obtained by multiplying its length by A. tangent of its reduced bearing, B. sine of its reduced bearing, C. cosine of its reduced bearing, D. cosecant of its reduced bearing. The correct answer is cosine of its reduced bearing. A uniform slope was measured by the method of stepping. If the difference in level between 2 points is 1.8 m and the slope distance between them is 15 m, the error is approximately equal to A. cumulative 0.11 m, B. compensating 0.11 m, C. cumulative 0.11 m, D. none of these. The correct answer is cumulative 0.11 m. In optical reading instruments, the vertical circle is usually continuous from 0 to 359. B. The readings increase when the telescope is elevated in the face left position. C. The readings decrease when the telescope is elevated in the face right position. D. all the above. The correct answer is all the above. The desired sensitivity of a bubble tube with 2 mm divisions is 30. The radius of the bubble tube should be A. 13.75 m, B. 3.44 m, C. 1375 m, D. none of these. The correct answer is 13.75 m. A dumpy level was set up at the midpoint between two pegs A and B 50 m apart, and the staff readings at A and B were 1.22 and 1.06. With the level set up A, the readings at A and B were 1.55 and 1.37. The collimation error per 100 m length of sight is A. 0.02 m inclined upwards, B. 0.04 m inclined downwards, C. 0.04 m inclined upward, D. none of these. The correct answer is 0.04 m inclined downwards. Keeping the instrument height as 1 m, length of staff 4 m, the up gradient of the ground 1 in 10. The site on the upslope must be less than a 25 centimeters, b 20 m, c 45 m, d 10 m. The correct answer is 45 m. True meridian of different places. A. Converge from the South Pole to the North Pole. B. Converge from the North Pole to the South Pole. C. Converge from the equator to the poles. D. Run parallel to each other. The correct answer is converge from the equator to the poles. Two hilltops A and B 20 kilometers apart are intervened by a third top C. If the topmost contour of the three hilltops are of the same value, state whether the line of sight AB. A passes clear of hilltop C. B passes below the hilltop C. C grazes the hilltop C. D none of these. The correct answer is passes below the hilltop C. The diaphragm of a stadia theodolite is fitted with two additional A. horizontal hairs, B. vertical hairs, C. horizontal and two vertical hairs, D. none of these. The correct answer is horizontal hairs. Centering error of a theodolite produces an error A. in all angles equally, B. which does not vary with the direction or pointing, C. which varies with the direction of pointing and inversely with the length of sight, D. none of these. The correct answer is which varies with the direction of pointing and inversely with the length of sight. The operation of making the algebraic sum of latitudes and departures of a closed traverse each equal to 0 is known. A. balancing the sights, B. balancing the departures, C. balancing the latitudes, D. balancing the traverse. The correct answer is balancing the traverse. Orientation of a plane table by solving two-point problem is only adopted when A. saving of time is a main factor, B. better accuracy is a main factor, C. given points are inaccessible, D. none of these. The correct answer is given points are inaccessible. A back sight A is always taken on a point of known elevation or can be computed. B is added to the known level to obtain the instrument height. C taken on an inverted staff is treated as negative. D all the above. The correct answer is all the above. The sum of the interior angles of a geometrical figure laid on the surface of the earth differs from that of the corresponding plane figure only to the extent of 1 second for every A. 100 sq km of area, B. 150 sq km of area, C. 200 sq km of area, D. none of these. The correct answer is 200 sq km of area. The systematic errors which persist and have regular effects in the performance of a survey operation are due to A. carelessness, B. faulty instrument, C. inattention, D. none of these. The correct answer is faulty instrument. It is the probable error of an observed bearing of a line of length L. The error over the whole length of the traverse of n lines of length L is A. ln, B. n, C. D. n. The correct answer is ln. The best method of interpolation of contours is by A. estimation, B. graphical means, C. computation, D. all of these. The correct answer is computation. The conventional sign shown in below figure represents A. bridge carrying railway below road, B. bridge carrying road below railway, C. bridge carrying road and railway at the same level, D. a level crossing. The correct answer is bridge carrying railway below road. Deviation of the actual road gradient from the proposed contour gradient up hillside involves A. Embankment on the center line. B. Excavation on the center line. C. Earthwork on the center line. D. None of these. The correct answer is excavation on the center line. Measuring with a 30 m chain 0.01 m too short introduces A. Positive compensating error. B. Negative compensating error. C. Positive cumulative error. D. Negative cumulative error. The correct answer is positive cumulative error. Setting out a curve by two theodolite method involves A. Linear measurements only. B. Angular measurements only. C. Both linear and angular measurements. D. None of these. The correct answer is angular measurements only. When the bubble of the level tube of a level remains central, A. Line of sight is horizontal. B. Axis of the telescope is horizontal. C. Line of collimation is horizontal. D. Geometrical axis of the telescope is horizontal. The correct answer is line of sight is horizontal. Pick up the correct statement from the following. A. The power of a lens is the reciprocal of its focal length. B. The unit of power of the lens is diopter. C. The power of two or more thin lenses in contact is the power of the combination of the lenses. D. All the above. The correct answer is all the above. The vertical angle between longitudinal axis of a freely suspended magnetic needle and a horizontal line at its pivot is known. A. Declination. B. Azimuth. C. Dip. D. Bearing. The correct answer is dip. A relatively fixed point of known elevation above datum is called A. Benchmark. B. Datum point. C. Reduced level. D. Reference point. The correct answer is benchmark. Crosshairs in surveying telescopes are fitted A. in the objective glass. B. at the center of the telescope. C. at the optical center of the eyepiece. D. in front of the eyepiece. The correct answer is in front of the eyepiece. Metric chains are generally available in A. 10 m and 20 m length. B. 15 m and 20 m length. C. 20 m and 30 m length. D. 25 m and 100 m length. The correct answer is 20 m and 30 m length. On a diagonal scale it is possible to read up to A. 1 dimension. B. 2 dimensions. C. 3 dimensions. D. 4 dimensions. The correct answer is 3 dimensions. Plotting of inaccessible points on a plane table is done by A. Intersection. B. Traversing. C. Radiation. D. None of these. The correct answer is intersection. A dumpy level is set up with its eyepiece vertically over a peg A. The height from the top of peg A to the center of the eyepiece is 1.540 m and the reading on peg B is 0.705 m. The level is then set up over B. The height of the eyepiece above peg B is 1.490 m and a reading on A is 2.195 m. The difference in level between A and B is A. 2.900 m. B. 3.030 m. C. 0.770 m. D. 0.785 m. The correct answer is 0.770 m. Probable systematic error in precise leveling as recommended by International Geodetic Association should not exceed where K is in kilometers. A. 0.1 kmm. B. 0.2 kmm. C. 0.1 k. D. 0.2 kmm. The correct answer is 0.2 kmm.